I think just continuing to grow as a team, and to take any lessons that we learned either through winning or losing, or good times or bad times. We take those lessons and remember them. We went to Western Michigan and they played with extreme pace, and I think that took our team to another level. Came back and had some big periods and big moments that ultimately ended up ending up where we did.
You guys have been playing great team defense. I'm sure the chances are down. You can probably give me a better number than I can. But just from looking at it, you guys don't give up a lot of big scoring chances. When you do, Owen's been able to make big key saves for you. You're giving up around 1 or 2 goals a game at the very most. Is that the kind of hockey that you expect out of your teams night in, night out, regardless of the season?
Well, I think more than anything, what I expect is that organized desperation. If we're not organized, it doesn't matter how desperate you are. If you're just desperate, then that gives you, the mindset to get it together. But we've played organized and we've been very desperate. And on any breakdowns, Owen has played really well in the net. So really, just to continue with that organized desperation is what I expect.
You guys a lot of times out, especially over the last month or so, maybe 2 months, you've been winning the special teams battle. But when you don't, it seems like you're able to make it up in other areas. How important do you still find special teams? And then, when you aren't able to win that battle, what's important for you guys to do otherwise?
Well, 5-on-5, we want to be even or better there, and special teams, you want to be even or better. But we've scored some goals this year late after a big penalty kill. The game against Harvard, we had finished the game, 6-on-4. Those are massive moments that, when you can score in the power play because you have an extra guy, it makes all the difference in the world. It's just like a +1, and when you can keep them off the scoreboard, that's also like a +1 for you, because especially when you come back with a big goal. So special teams are going to remain critical for everybody, not just us, as is goaltending, as is 5-on-5 play. So at this point of the year, you have to be hitting on all cylinders in all areas.
What made you guys decide to have an open practice? I know you don't have a game this weekend. You've earned the right to not play this weekend in the league, but what are you trying to accomplish there, and and maybe connect with some of your fans that you don't get a chance to talk to every week?
Yeah, I think there was a few things that crossed my mind. One of them was we had an event earlier in the year that our players weren't able to get to, and I thought this might be a nice second chance to get our players in front of the kids. School might end around 3:00 and get the kids that are able to make it. Also, I think it's a great thank you to our sponsors, our boosters, the people that, season ticket holders, the community of RPI hockey that loves our hockey, and there's no RPI hockey game on the weekend, so maybe Friday afternoon we could give them a chance to see us, and we will do Lemonier on Friday, so it'll be the first public Lemonier that we've ever had. And the last piece, I think it's good for our guys to talk about playoff hockey, talk about what it means to this community that's been coming, some of them for 30, 40, 50 years, what it means to them, and to hear that good pressure and expectation and jubilation about first getting the bye and then hosting a second round game.
You guys have had we talked about depth of scoring before, but some guys have stepped up, whether it be Tuur Linden or Tristan Ashbrook, who now has 8 goals, Patrick Polino, who kind of, for other reasons, maybe injury or whatever, had topped out at 11 points in his first 3 seasons. He's got 11 goals now to go along with the number of assists he has. What can you attribute that maturation offensively for a couple of your guys, including a couple of freshmen who hadn't played in college hockey yet before?
Well, I think it's the ability to just play the game the right way. Shoot when you're supposed to shoot, go to the net when you're supposed to go to the net, rely on each other and trust each other that if you do those things, the puck will come. I mean, Patty Polino's goal at Dartmouth, he just shoots it, but he's got a screen, he's got a good movement, and together it happened, it developed nicely, but he still has to shoot it. Tristan Ashbrook's goal, he just goes to the net hard, which we preach all the time, and puck shows up, goes off the body and into the net. So I think if you try to do the right things, you're committed to getting into the hard areas, good things can happen. And that's what we do with all of our guys.
I think it's good. I think everyone can play well with each other. I think that we've proven that the second half here. I think everyone's really stepped up their game, and I think our team defense has been really good for us recently, and hopefully we can keep that going.
How important is communication, not only between you and your defensive pair, and also Owen behind you, and then maybe the centers and the forwards to play good solid defense and keep their team from getting good scoring chances?
It's something we talk about a lot. I think we like to talk about it before the game. What our strategy is going to be. Based on what the other team's forecheck is, or something like that. And if we know that the other team is going to come with too hard on both our D when saves has it, then we're going to look to go glass or something like that.
Sure.
Or if they're going to go to saves, then we know we have to be ready. So just talking throughout the game. If obviously we have to make adjustments or what have you, it's good to always have good communication.
And then offensive for your guys, a number of you, I think it's 6 or 7 have getting close to 20 points. That's a big total when in years past maybe one guy got to 20.
Yeah.
For you guys to have all those different options for scoring, it makes you hard to defend at the offensive end, especially for a defenseman like yourself, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. I think it just speaks to. I think it's probably the biggest strength of our team is our depth. Obviously we don't have anyone near, point a game or anything like that, but we have a lot of guys that are, putting up a good healthy amount of points. Especially recently, I think obviously Todd and two are the hottest players in the league right now, and it's been good for us down the stretch.
And just lastly, like I asked Tristan, for you guys, how important is the week off, and then also a chance to play in front of your home crowd in the playoffs is something a lot of guys haven't been able to do in their careers, and finally be able to do it your senior year has to be, put a smile on your face, I'm sure.
Yeah, firstly, the bye I think is really important. It's been a long stretch for us recently. A lot of really important games. So for us to get the rest, I think is really important for us. And then obviously getting to play at home in the playoffs. My class hasn't been able to do that, so we're just really looking forward to it. I can't wait to get going.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a building up throughout the year. We're starting to click in all areas. It's been pretty fun because a lot of the lines are developing some pretty good chemistry, and I think we've been a lot better on the forecheck and just overall harder to play against.
Even you, Burgess, and Morello. It seems like you guys have been together for a bit now. What is working? What do those guys do for you on the wings to help you be have the success you've had as a center?
Yeah, kind of like what I just said about the forecheck. I think we've done a really good job of hemming the other team in their end and kind of playing in their end instead of ours. And we've been really good on the forecheck and just kind of reloading over pucks and getting back and kind of keeping them in their end.
And it seems like you guys have still had balanced scoring throughout. A number of guys in above or around 20 points, including yourself. What do you think those? You've really ramped up the assist totals this year. What does that due to?
Definitely a lot of my line mates and developing that chemistry. Burgess has been on fire. Morello's been really good. So we've just been continuing to get better, and I'm looking forward to playoffs.
What aspect of the game do you feel that you are best at, and what are you most proud of? Is it necessarily setting up goals or scoring goals, or is it killing penalties and keeping the other team off the scoreboard like you've done recently?
Yeah, I'd like to think it's a combination of those things, being a solid 200-foot center and also hopefully being a playmaker in the other end. So.
And lastly, obviously you don't know who you're going to play yet, but what are you guys looking to accomplish over these, up this week and next?
We're just really excited for the opportunity, and we're going to work hard for the next 2 weeks and get our game, so it's perfect and ready to go for next Friday night.
Yeah, I think we played really well last weekend. I think we could attribute that to just a lot of hard work and dedication to what we're good at, and sticking to what we know, and working hard together.
You guys, you do your best to keep shots away from good scoring areas for the team. You allowed, as a team, you guys are allowing so few goals. That's why it's allowed Savory to get those last few monthly awards. What is it defensively that you as centers, you and two are looking to accomplish, and and Billy and the other guys to defensively?
Yeah, I think defensively we've been playing really well because we're sticking to our game plan, getting quick to stops, supporting each other, always knowing what that next play will be, and just trying to work together and spend as little time in our zone as possible.
And offensively, it seems like the power play's been clicking more recently, and just in general, scored a couple 4-on-4 goals. what's working at the offensive end? It seems like the lines combinations have been sticking together more and more as you guys have been going on this year.
Yeah, similarly to our defensive zone, I think we're gelling really well together. I think everybody's finding, good chemistry within each other, and we're getting a lot of shots to the net, directing a lot of pucks to those good areas, and that's leading to a lot of good offensive chances.
And then lastly, just you guys get the bye here, which is huge to get a week of rest and also to get a chance to play at home. When a lot of these guys have, a lot of the older guys haven't had a chance to have a home playoff game. How important is that for you guys as a team and to help the seniors that haven't been a chance to do that?
Yeah, I think that bye week is something that we were really pushing for, and we really wanted to get home ice in general, and I think that'll be a really exciting weekend coming up.